Brie Larson is sick and tired of the toxic fan base at Marvel, and reports indicate she's bouncing. Welcome back to EBN, where we are live every Saturday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Today we've got breaking news from a Marvel insider that says Brie Larson is sick and fed up with the toxic Marvel fans, the backlash that she gets, and all reports indicate that she is about to leave. Is this real? Do we care? And could this make Marvel better? Let's get into it. In the vast world of Marvel superheroes, Brie Larson emerged as a powerful force, portraying the character of Carol Danvers, also known as Captain Marvel. Larson's journey into the realm of comic book movies was not without its challenges. Since joining the superpowered franchise, she faced a barrage of criticism and backlash from fans. But what was the root cause of her attitude? Co-star Samuel L. Jackson said that people who hate strong women is where much of the criticism came from. Sexist comments were made not only about her hero, but also about the movie she starred in and Larson herself. Now, as author Joanna Robinson reveals in her book, MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios, Larson's disillusionment with Marvel began to grow. Robinson writes, saying, "The future of those Marvel icons was uncertain. The departure of franchise anchors like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson had already taken its toll. But it was not just the loss of these beloved characters that affected Larson. The Guardians of the Galaxy cast bid their farewell, and Brie Larson herself grew disillusioned." In an interview, Larson discussed the fan backlash, saying, "I don't have time for it. The things that I have extra time to really look at are, like, am I eating healthy food? Am I drinking water? Am I meditating? Have I called my mom today? Am I drinking water?" According to Marvel insiders, Kevin Feige and the MCU had hoped to build its future around characters like Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, and Black Panther. However, Larson's uncertainty about continuing her role as Carol Danvers raises questions about the franchise's direction. When asked about upcoming Marvel projects, Brie Larson even said, "I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?" According to Joanna Robinson, the toxic backlash means that Brie Larson doesn't want to play Carol Danvers anymore. Some say that toxic fan culture has plagued Larson's Marvel journey and has raised important questions about the industry and the treatment of women in powerful roles. Will Brie Larson's disillusionment mark a turning point in the fight against such toxic behavior? Or is this not toxic behavior and fandom at all? Maybe it's just the fact that audiences and fans of the MCU don't like Brie Larson personally because of interviews and public statements that she has made. So is Brie Larson actually going to step away from Marvel because of the toxic fan base? And, of course, you guys are all aware of this. The actors today, or people just on the internet in general, if you see something as negative, if you have a critique of sorts, you are automatically going to be labeled as toxic. Now, have there been some toxic fans go after Brie Larson? Of course there has been. Any actor in Hollywood is going to experience that. You put yourself out there in public like that, it's definitely going to happen, especially when you say things like Brie Larson has over the years. People generally do not like her personality. They don't like things that she says. She says divisive things in interviews and things like that, and fans just don't like her. Now, a lot of fans don't like her personally, but her portrayal as Captain Marvel is fine. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that the movie's good. It doesn't mean that Marvel's headed in a good direction, and that's the key that I want to focus in on here. I don't know if Brie Larson is like, well, I am out of here because of the toxic fans. You've ran me off. I don't have time for this. I'm out. Well, in actuality, what may actually be happening is that Marvel is failing. Kevin Feige recognizes finally that there's not really a solid fan base behind Brie Larson. You had plans for her to be one of the main three to lead us into a new Marvel Cinematic Universe, a reboot of sorts, with Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther and with Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Brie Larson. Well, that's not going to go so well. So you've got to come up with a better plan than that. So it's probably more likely that Brie Larson recognizes there's a lot of fans that don't like her, and she's going to blame it on them for her not being back. But when in actuality, Marvel doesn't need her. Marvel recognizes maybe you know, there's no demand for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel or this Captain Marvel character at all. And you know what? They're about to find out when this movie comes out. Because in my opinion, the early box office reports and the indicators that we see are probably going to be true. It is going to flop majorly, and Disney is going to lose money in another major blockbuster feature film. And I use that word blockbuster very loosely because it's not going to be a blockbuster at all. It's a blockbuster in terms of only how much money they cost or spent to make the film, and that's it. That's what makes it a blockbuster, but it's probably not going to be a blockbuster in terms of box office success. The first Captain Marvel's movie that came out made over $1 billion, but it was right on the heels of Endgame. Anything Marvel did at that time was considered gold. They could have made a movie about, who knows, Wolverine's turd. Anything in Marvel would have been fantastic. If they ever make a movie about Wolverine's turd, that was my idea. You heard it here first. So is Brie Larson actually going to quit? She's going to quit her job. She's going to no longer be Captain Marvel because of things that fans say to her online. And even though she publicly says, I don't have time for that, I don't care, I'm only focused about how much water I was able to drink today. That's kind of a dumb comment. And therein lies the problem with Brie Larson. The things that she says are just idiotic. Just go look at so many of her past interviews. I'm talking as soon as her movie came out, people were like, what the heck is happening? Who is this girl saying all this crazy stuff? Just go look at all the videos and, look at the clicks that get, those videos get. And it's not because, people click on hate videos. It's because people don't like Brie Larson. And they're like, yep, what she said now, let's look at this. And they click it and they watch and they see the report. It's over and over again. And, she's definitely the type of character, personality, all of that, whether you're talking Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, or Brie Larson herself, she cannot be a cornerstone of the MCU or it is going to fail even harder. That's my opinion. So is she saving face here by saying, oh, I'm leaving because people don't like me and I can't handle the toxicity? They're just toxic fans. I don't think we're toxic fans at all. We just like good performances, good written stories, and actors who appreciates fans and fandom and their position in their job, and they don't say crazy, outlandish, divisive things to get people riled up like Brie Larson does. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. You are Echo Base Network. See you guys on the next one.